Good afternoon, I'm Josh Duncan, and these are some of the top headlines out of the KelownaNow newsroom today. An ex-councillor and very notable Kelowna resident has spoken out over the City of Kelowna's recent big buy, and she is not a fan. Sharron Simpson called the $27.8 million purchase of downtown waterfront property from Westcorp a bailout for the developer's struggling project. She also chastised the decision to make the purchase without public input. Simpson sat down with KelownaNow on Monday and dove into some of the history behind the properties and development goals for that site over the past quarter century. Along with being a former city councillor, of course, the Simpson family has had a lengthy history in Kelowna and involvement in many pieces of land in the city. That includes nearby Stewart Park. A lot of those pieces of land actually protected under the Simpson Covenant after being gifted to the city by the family. So she is a bit of an expert when it comes to this kind of thing. She sees the city's decision to buy the land as effectively entering the hospitality industry with taxpayer money and wondered why Westcorp couldn't secure private financing or so for many years if the project was viable. You can read more about Simpson's thoughts. There's plenty there through this feature story shown on the other side of the screen there. It's up at KelownaNow.com in our feature section. You can also watch in that story the full interview, which was done on Monday. A very good conversation with Simpson. Worth the watch if you got the time. All right, moving on, more city development stuff. The Parkinson Recreation Center redevelopment is about to hit a major milestone. Construction on the major rebuild of the Central Kelowna Community Center began in August, but it's really just been site preparation stuff since then. In early November, though, the fun stuff will actually get going, and that begins with a massive slab pour for the base of the building. Kelowna Infrastructure Manager Mac Logan told Council on Monday that this is one of the most significant milestones of the project. He said around 1,200 cubic meters of concrete will be poured, and that will support the entire massive project. Looking even further ahead, city staff estimates that the walls will start going up before the end of this calendar year, and then framing and also Mill Creek protection work, both expected to begin in the spring. The estimated completion date for the new Parkinson Rec Center is still late 2027. One last piece of council business today. Kelowna has greenlit the city's new Sikh temple, which will be constructed near the corner of Benvolan and KLO roads. The two-story project will replace the overcrowded temple currently found in Rutland. Councillors had a few final questions at their meeting yesterday, but overall praised the project and the applicants' commitments to meeting all their requirements. That includes working with neighbors through some early questions and pushback when the project was first pitched. The project moved forward now with a unanimous vote of support from council. Now only a building permit is standing in their way between now and the start of construction, which is likely to begin next year. All right, a couple quick concert announcements to get through here. Exciting stuff. We'll start locally as Alan Doyle has announced 2026 tour dates that will include a stop in Kelowna in March. The former Great Big Sea frontman will play the Community Theatre on Thursday, March 26th, with support from PEI folk duo The East Pointers. Doyle's 2026 tour dates will support his upcoming EP, Already Dancing is what it's called. The first single from that new record came out today. It's called Nancy, and it features the East Pointers, so that will be surely a fun one for them all to play together live at shows next year. Tickets for that show go on sale at noon on Friday through Live Nation. All right, a bigger scale now. This is a Vancouver show, but very notable one I had to talk about and write about earlier. Rush is hitting the road next year for the first time in over a decade and just unveiled a bunch of new shows. That includes Rogers Arena in Vancouver, Tuesday, December 15th, 2026. It's part of the 50-something tour, and it's going to be a hot ticket. It's Rush's first time on the road since 2015, and of course also their first time on the road since legendary drummer Neil Peart died of cancer in 2020. Tickets to see the iconic Canadian band in Vancouver next December. They go on sale in about 10 days on Halloween, so stay tuned for that if you want to see Rush. All right, wrapping up here in sports, you've got to be hiding under a rock if you don't already know this, but I'm wearing the hat, so I had to talk about it still. The Toronto Blue Jays are heading to their first World Series first time in the World Series, since 1993. That's 32 years in a do-or-die Game 7 against the Mariners, Seattle Mariners last night. The Jays trailed 3-1 in the 7th before George Springer came to the plate with 2 runners on base. Springer launching a home run into the left field seats. It sent the Rogers Centre and really all of Canada into an absolute frenzy.
1-0 pitch. High fly ball. Left field. Arozarena watches it go.
Oh yeah, one of the biggest home runs in franchise history. Got to think that one slides into number 2 on the list, behind, of course, Joe Carter's walk-off World Series winning home run, and probably slightly ahead of Jose Bautista's big home run, the famous one back in 2016, maybe 2015. Anyways, that home run put the Jays up 4-3. They held on 2 more innings to win by that same score. The task now does not get easier for Toronto. They're taking on the high-powered Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Blake Snell, all those high-powered players. The Jays do have home field advantage, though, and that means the Fall Classic begins in Toronto on Friday night. All right, a quick look at the forecast. 15 and sunny right now in Kelowna. We've already raced past our forecasted high of 13 today, which is always nice. A beautiful day. Should get down to 2 degrees under clear skies overnight. And then mainly sunny to start tomorrow. Few clouds rolling in as the day moves on. Going to climb up to a high of 13 degrees. That is it for me today, but you can read up on all these stories and plenty more over at KelownaNow.com. Be sure to check us out on socials as well. It is KelownaNow.com on TikTok, KelownaNow on X, Best of KelownaNow on Instagram, Now Media Group on YouTube. Have a wonderful night, Kelowna. I will be back here in this chair tomorrow for a look at some more headlines, and we'll see you then.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.